I can't hear.
Oh, sorry about that. Welcome to the chat where we are unfiltered, uncut, and hopefully unmuted. We have some juicy topics for y'all today. Yeah. I know, so because come on in here, start replying in them comments. Tell us where you're from, where you're watching, and respond to what we got going on today.
Yeah,
we have some really good topics. So, how are y'all today? How was your weekend?
It's going great. It's going great. The weekend was good. I think I told you guys we have a foster son right now, so he's having some behavioral issues. This is the first time we have a kid that we're having some issues with, and so I'm learning what it is like to be a Black parent. And I can't snatch him up because that's illegal, but God knows I've been wanting to snatch him up. In my mind, I have body slammed this kid, but he's going through some issues. We were going to Busch Gardens today, but he cut up right before then, and we were like, nope, because we were trying to go up and come back around 5 o'clock, so I'll be here for the show. But he just can't get it together. So that was my weekend. How was y'all's?
Wow, that's interesting. 6 years old, you say?
No, he's 10.
Oh, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Monique. Thanks for joining. My weekend was good. It was kind of quiet. I'm always mentally going. And Sunday, I was like, you know what? I am going to sit on this sofa and do absolutely one thing. And I did that. I wanted to try something new, so I went and got a sugar, like a sugar wax.
Ooh,
a sugar scrub, or
all over.
They just poured sugar on you.
Ooh.
Not all over, but
they pulled out the domino bag.
Great. Where did you get that done? Is that local?
You said what now?
Was that local?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, it was.
That sounds like it's good for mental health.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of mental health,
I'm actually going to do it on my page. I'm actually going to do a review of it and just give my experience of how it was. So, yeah.
I would love to hear that. It was all over, whole body sugar scrub?
No, it was not. It was not a full body. It was just so my underarms, and then I got a Brazilian. So, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm scared of that.
Brazilian. Okay. I didn't know that.
Well, my weekend was pretty good. I've been focusing on my mental health for the last few weeks, so I had to switch up some friendships and some relationships, and it's been extremely peaceful and therapeutic, and we're pressing forward.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, my weekend was pretty chill. I focused on mental health as well. I really tried to relax, did some cleaning. I didn't run all over the place. I'm taking care of a young child and a pregnant wife. So I'm just like, whoo, I definitely need as much time as I can to just refocus on what I'm going through.
Okay. All right. Absolutely. So I know today's topic is all about mental health, but I just wanted to start off with one of my, my situational questions, because Cookie, the girl in my salon, she sent me this video. She stays on TikTok. So this was like this viral TikTok video where this guy asked people's opinion. So here's the situation. He said a man gave his baby mama $600 for school supplies and school clothes, but the man found out that his baby mama had split the money 3 ways with her other 2 kids that are not his. The man confronted her about it, and she explained the reason she did it was because her other 2 baby daddies didn't get anything for their children, so it wouldn't be fair for one child to have nice things and the others not to. Plus, she didn't want to create any type of jealousy between the kids. Now, the man became very irate and said that it's not his responsibility to look out for the other 2 kids that are not his. So whose side are y'all on? It was kind of boring. You're on the woman's side.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I have questions. You know me, I have questions. Who told him?
Who told him? I mean, when I visualized the story, it was like during visitation, he like, tell me all the stuff you got, and then don't add $600. That's probably how it came out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's upset that he's using the child support money for the other children.
He's upset that
He's upset.
She's
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, yeah. So I think for me, I've heard similar situations before, and I typically take the woman's side in this only because, in general, when I hear those stories, I'm all like, people are really trying to watch pockets because they're honestly bitter about the situation that they're stuck in. And I hear I just don't feel any sympathy, just specifically because I've grown up with people whose fathers weren't there, and I mean, it's just kind of like you just giving somebody money. And I think one thing I saw, they said, well, we should be able to have receipts that show all the money that you sent, like, so that $600, they would have to show receipts in court to show all the things that she spent the money on to make sure it was going to only his child that he's responsible for. And I said, I don't think you realize how much that will backfire for you in court when you show that she's spending the $600 on one kid. Like, they're going to start asking you for more money. And I think I don't think people think about how expensive it is to take care of a child. And they're just like, well, I gave up my $600 and I only want it used here, and there. But yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Monique there.
Child support for her extra is different. My feeling, I sided with the guy only because guys always get a bad rap for not taking care of their kids. And when I heard that, when I read, I don't know if it's a real story or not, but that he stepped up to the plate and he gave $600 for his kid to have something nice. He took responsibility for it. And the result was his kid was slighted. I do agree that it's probably going to cause tension. It's probably going to cause jealousy or, whatever. But that's for her to take up with those other two baby daddies.
I actually agree with you that, if he wanted that $600 to be used for something specific, but I would say that that's not what child support money is for. Child support money is to support the child. Now, if he wants to get him a new pair of Jordans that are $600 or a PlayStation 5, I'm exaggerating the prices there. He needs to just get that.
But I mean, he said he didn't say I gave her $600 child support. He said I gave her $600 for school supplies and school clothes.
Okay.
So I'm just let's just for just 1 second, because I'm kind of in the middle. Because my thing is also, you have to think about children too. Like, I don't know what age this child is, but children are also children. When you have sibling situations like that, sometimes the kids are like, well, I don't want my brother. Like, can I buy my brothers or my sisters or my whoever something with my money? Can they get something too? Or if it's an open conversation like that. So, I mean, it kind of could go, to me, I think that's a conversation. I don't necessarily, because if your child is one of those children who likes to share, it was ultimately going to happen anyway. So, but, I do think that, with it being extra.
I mean, no, I agree. I think it's his money.
Because, I mean, $600 worth of clothes. Like, I don't even think that I would. I mean, maybe put it away. I don't even think that I would spend $600 worth of clothes purchasing, like, not right away, because I just feel like I don't know.
It's kind of frivolous.
Well, I think she did the right thing. I mean, she's the one in the household with all the children. I understand his viewpoint, but she cannot live in that house with the children and have them divided like that. I also feel like he should have thought about that when he decided to have a baby with somebody who have kids.
Well, we don't know who's the oldest kid.
We don't, but it's likely that he's not. And if he's not, I mean, that is a situation that he put himself in, if that child is not the oldest child.
Okay, so
I mean, and honestly, one more point. If he is the oldest child, that's still a situation he put himself in by choosing her as the woman or somebody that he may or may not, may not spend the rest of his life with. I mean, I'm just saying, she did the right thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, so if I was the mother and I had to give him $600 and he took my $600 and split it up with two other kids
Mm-hmm.
in the house, honestly, I would probably be like, okay, wait a minute.
I know, but then again, what if you were the one in the house with the kids?
What does that have to do with you?
Mhm.
I probably would have felt some type of way. I probably would have been like, okay, listen, I'm giving you extra. I'm giving you child support or whatever. I'm giving you child support, and I'm giving you this extra. Okay, or maybe not even child support. I'm giving you $600 to support. To do what you need to do for my child. Like, I probably would feel some type of way. I probably would, and then after, but I know me, like after I would have calmed down, I would have just been like, okay, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. But initially, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have been pissed.
Yeah, but what if you were the one in the house with the kids?
Oh, okay. So wait. So Walter says, a mature man, you have to consider the other children. Me being the person I am, I would think about how the other siblings would feel. But you got me who like I've seen it in situations where people will come and just pick up their child and then leave the siblings.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen people who will come pick up the child and like take everybody. Like, if your child come to spend the night at my house, everybody come and spend the night at my house. They don't split up the kids, and I've seen situations where the other kids were left behind. It wasn't that person's kids. So I mean, I just think it's situational too. I think it's just situational how you,
for me, like, you're supporting that child. You're not just doing that. Money isn't just for clothes and food. Like, those are the main things. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to foster a safe environment for your child in a household that you don't run. Like, you don't run that household. And in my opinion, giving your kid a whole bunch of expensive stuff, and then the other kids, there's other kids in the house and they don't got nothing. I'm sorry, that fosters an unsafe environment for your child where those siblings may be hateful or, like, dang, like, my dad doesn't send anything to mom, but your dad gives you all this stuff.
Right.
Or pick up your child and take your child shopping.
Yeah. I think that would be the best
Whether
way.
you pick your child up and take your child shopping, they still have to go back to the house with shoes.
But the burden is off the mother to whether she's going to split up the money or not.
But I think that, I think that if that's the way she's handling it, she's going to look and see, well, how many, I just for me, and then we can move on. For me, I just like, she's going to look to see what the child has, and she's going to find a way to divvy it up if the other kids don't have. It's like, okay, you got 20 pencils in here. You don't need 20 pencils. Your brother going to take 3. Your sister going to take 4. You going to have whatever. I just feel like.
I mean, she could do that with the school supplies, but the clothes may be a little difficult.
Be careful
who you have babies by. That's the moral of the story.
I think so.
Just be very mindful.
Tonight's gonna be full of that topic.
And that's exactly where my comment was coming from. I mean, he kind of bought this situation. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If you have a baby by Hakeem and Rabbit, and then you have a baby by the president of Bank of America, you can't expect him to be as irresponsible as perhaps Hakeem and Rabbit. And you can expect him to foot the bill for Hakeem and Rabbit's baby.
I agree.
Regardless. I mean, that's not fair to him.
I agree.
Take care of his baby, his child.
That's true.
And that's the situation she placed her kids in.
Right.
So both of them have the burden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's very situational. I mean, just like Walter said, and you have to, it's just a sticky situation no matter how you look at it, because if she chose to buy food, and it's like, okay, I'm using some of the $600 to buy food, and if you break it down like that, it's like, okay, so you're going to only feed the one?
Nope.
She got to
Yeah, I mean, I just think some people are a little more savage than me.
Hit the street for a while. What do you think I do? Yeah. Black women are resilient. Y'all do what y'all have to do. I know that about y'all. But
you said women?
Black women in particular. Y'all are resilient. Y'all will come through every time. So
I just feel like women would end up. They would do what they have to do. Like, but I don't think, to be quite honest, that I would have told him even in conversation. I mean, even though, like, not unless he asked for a receipt, like, I wouldn't have been so. I would put that away.
No, that baby came home with Vans and supposed to have Jordans.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
He already knew. He was like, when they 45 and they 59 and
yeah.
I mean, I feel like moms be asking, like, dads will ask the kids, like, oh yeah, so how did mom spend that $600?
Exactly. Show me what you got.
And then the kid will be like, mommy didn't buy me anything. I just got some McDonald's chicken nuggets. You know what I mean? Like, kids be busted.
But you're right, Will. That's how that conversation go. Yo, man, you show me what you got.
Exactly.
He'd be like,
and that's what he's doing subconsciously. He's testing to find out if that money was spent where it was supposed to be spent. I know that's how it is.
You got to know you got to know who you're in a relationship with, and can you trust that person with $600? You need to give it out in dividends.
Mommy gave it to this other man that comes by the house.
Mr. Rabbit, right.
Well, she did exactly what mom was supposed to do. Stretch it, make it work for everybody. Mm-hmm. Deal with the consequences later.
She need to stretch it all right. But okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic.
Well, that brings us to the infamous Cam Newton. He has this week. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with him. But anyway, so
tell us about Cam.
He was doing an interview with Brittany Renner, and I don't know if y'all know who Brittany Renner is, but Brittany Renner is a young lady who was she's big Instagram famous for telling women how to trap professional football and basketball players. And so
what's her name again?
Brittany Renner. So she ended up getting pregnant by PJ Washington, who used to play for Kentucky. And she had a baby by him and then stuck him with this big ass child support bill. And I mean, she suckered him like he was fresh rookie, fresh in the NBA, and she stuck it to his ass. But anyway, so Cam, she asked him why didn't he marry his longtime girlfriend with the 4 kids. And he basically was like, well, I just think that ultimately, she deserved better. And he was just like, in the beginning, she wasn't really on no marriage stuff. And I, on the other hand, had seen what marriage looked like. My parents have been married for 36 years. I've seen the ins, outs, ups and downs all around of that. And I just don't think that I was ready to commit to it. And then outside of that conversation, they went on and they talked about, he said that he didn't feel like, so they started talking about Sierra and Russell Wilson. Right. And he said that Sierra didn't find the value in Future before she moved on with Russell Wilson.
That part confused me. Like,
yeah.
I was like, what is he talking about?
Find the value in somebody who cheating on her, says the person who didn't marry either one of your baby mamas, who you said that she was good enough for you to have these 4 kids with, but she wasn't good enough for you to marry her.
I was confused.
Yeah.
How?
Sierra more likely didn't find the value in herself versus finding the value in Future.
Because the interview,
so that's why she saw him have all these multiple women, all these multiple kids. She still made a decision that she was going to evidently have unprotected sex with him, become another one of these women with all these kids, and whatever happened led her to Russell. She didn't. In my opinion, she didn't find the value in herself, let alone whatever value there was in Future. And Future's nothing wrong with him. He was just never set up to be her husband. That's not the life that he wanted.
Right.
And a lot of times people try to change people to be what they want. When all the red flags and all the signs are saying, don't go this way because this is not what you're going to get.
Right.
And then, maybe she thought she was pretty, she was talented enough or whatever.
Now,
she would be the one that changed him.
Now, did
But
Sierra ever like say that she didn't see any value in him? We're just going off of what these people are saying.
No. So
Right.
they pulled up the interview. They pulled up an interview of Sierra, and what she basically was saying is that she did a lot of crying, a lot of late night crying. She was crying behind how he was treating her, how she was being treated, how basically she didn't really feel valued, and ultimately in the relationship. And she made a decision that was it, and it didn't take her 4 babies to figure that out. Is basically my point.
Yeah, I think, I really think that Sierra, at the end of the day, a lot of people were so focused on how could she be so stupid, but it's like, come on, man. I mean, we're all human. Sierra ain't special. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, what's up with Future? And nobody really cared that. He's like, is he okay? Like, is this what he wants out of life, to be known as somebody who just has children with a bunch of women? Like, that's it?
And they keep you in and out of court, because for a while he was like, I think he was in court like 3 times in 1 year behind
like child support.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I mean, Cam Newton and Brittany, I feel like Cam was just, I feel like he's trying to pack a personality behind that facade of an outfit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
no.
Yeah, but to say that, but to say that she deserves better, and you have 4 children with her, that just tells me that you just don't want her, and you just been having fun.
Yes. Basically, he was like, she was telling me that she wanted more than just to be a baby mama. I mean, but at the
You
third
keep making her a baby mama.
Say it again.
You keep making her a baby mama.
But she was already a baby mama when he got with her. She already had 1 kid, and then she had 4 more with him, and then how are you to tell somebody about finding value in somebody when you have 2 women that have children by you, and the last one, like I said, that has 4 children, and you had no desire to make her your wife?
He found no value in them.
Right.
So in the same interview, when I was doing the research, there was a guy who was providing, I guess, commentary on the interview, and he was saying that Sierra and Russell together, how they're so much, she get the prayer and God sent her him and all this other kind of stuff. But it was saying, like, if you would look at her Instagram, which I didn't even follow Sierra until I heard him say it, he said she does not present herself the way any wife that he would want to have. And I went to go look at her pictures, and I was looking at them. She's really posed like with her butt up in the air, with her legs spread and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Who are you talking about, Sierra or
Sierra?
Oh, okay.
Sierra, because Russell's supposed to be this good boy. I know his April Wilson or April Woodard is his aunt, and he's from the church. He's a good boy. He's a good guy. So I was just looking. I was like, okay, I can see where he's saying that. She was attracted. They're 2 polar opposites, Future and Russell, from us looking on the outside.
Right. Yeah.
And is that enough for her, or is it that he is the gentleman and all this kind of stuff?
Well,
They just kind of piqued my curiosity. When I went to go look through her page, I was like, she does have a lot of provocative, and she's a singer. It's not like she's a model or a lingerie.
But she's also a dancer.
I would go on Instagram and look at her page and just look at, not judge, but just look at some of the interesting things that she chooses to post.
But you have to, I think sometimes you have to also realize that when she's doing videos and certain things, he's the one behind the camera.
Who?
So Russell. Yes. He's the one that
videos.
He when she was on the yacht, when she was dancing for him, doing different things, or he's sitting in the background, like he's watching her like do some of this stuff, like and some some of the videos and stuff that she has posted of her, like being in the house with the kids, and she might be twerking or whatever, like he's sitting like right there. I think that it's an image. I mean, as I think that a lot of people, I think that we all have some sort of image that we have to keep, in a sense, in the public eye, and then when we, as they say, you are freaking the sheets, and I think that really honestly.
I can see that. I mean, for me, a lot of people kind of put Sierra in a box as like this. Future had another hoe, and now Russell is saving her and turning her into a housewife. Mm-hmm. But it's just kind of like, these are people. We can't really put them in a box. I don't know what their relationship was like, but clearly Sierra felt like Future wasn't treating her well. And Russell is treating her well. And I think we all have to ask, what does that mean? That means different things to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be as simple as Russell Wilson is like, maybe he's like really, what's the word? Maybe he's romantic in a way that Future didn't think romance was necessary. But some other girl might like romance, might not like romance and think it's silly, right? Like the stuff Russell will do for Sierra. Maybe another girl will be like, "Man, that's whack. Like, I don't want any guy to ever do that for me." That would be perfect for Future.
One thing we do know is that Sierra has been very vocal as to one of the biggest reasons that she's with Russell, and that was she can be herself. She's made that very clear in several interviews. And we know way before she met Russell, she was dancing, she was twerking, dancing was her thing. She was dressing in, showing her midriff. I mean, she don't have a lot to show, otherwise. I mean, but, she was that person. And she's made it very clear, I can be myself with him.
Good. Okay.
So I just feel like Cam, he just used her. He just used her for the wild ride, made these babies. And the reason why she deserves some of them one better is because he don't want her. That's one of the cliche things that people say when they don't want more with people, is that you deserve better.
Yeah.
I mean, have y'all read the Sierra prayer? I mean, have y'all read it? I mean, people
I've read it. I've listened to it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I just feel like I said, Cam was seeking for a moment, to really. I just feel like he's fallen to the wayside. He still wears crazy outfits, but people aren't talking about him like when he was winning every game. When he was winning every game, everyone was talking about this dude. Then he kind of fell off, and now they just have to look at him for what he's not doing, which is being with Sierra.
I mean, even because this part is I pray the next man in my life will be my husband. I pray he loves me, leads me, guides me, reassures me. I pray that he holds me. So I think that there's some, I don't know. I feel like
she got what you prayed for.
Right. And God don't always send you. This is my thought too. God doesn't always send you what you want. He sends you what you need. And sometimes you may not realize that that's what you need at the time, because you still focus on what you want. But I feel like, God is in the blessing business and he sends you what you need. So that's what she needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Good talk. Who's next?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I heard that Sierra wanted to just be herself, who can't usually be themselves are rappers who may be on the down low. So
tell me about it.
What had happened is a very big rapper who recently came out with an album, critically acclaimed, goes by or artist. I don't know if I would necessarily say he's just a rapper. Isaiah Rashad with Top Dog Entertainment. That's Kendrick Lamar, Sir, like really big names right now. A sex tape was released. And it appeared that he was engaging in intercourse with other men. And what you would think would happen is that, typically if something like that happens, a career is, done in terms of the way people react. But interestingly enough, there was an outpouring of support for him and the fact that it was wrong. And to me, I just say, do you think that we're on a better mental health trajectory when it comes to these kind of incidents? Or how much should we be involved in these celebrities' lives? Because before that, it was Nelly, and people were saying that his, penis was small. So, I want to see. I want to hear you all
I think with that situation, that was more of a support towards separating the artist from his lifestyle or who he is. It was anti-homophobic. The other things was just, why would you release such a small penis? That was that goal. But as far as with him, with the support for Lil Nas, I think that's just people's attitude changing to, we're not going to diss this guy just because of who he is. I thought there were both videos that I saw of, what is the guy's name again, the rapper?
Isaiah.
Yes, wonderful work. Wonderful work. I like both the videos that he released. I have added them to my collection. So I don't have any complaints there. Mm-hmm. And Nellys is in there too. I thought that was pretty decent.
Shanika, your face. Should we be saving our sex tapes from celebrities?
I do, yeah. Don't you? I even have Little Kim. That's really old. It's old now, but I still have not Little Kim, but Kim Kardashian.
Did you happen to talk about the Little Fizz video? The Little Fizz video?
That. You don't want that. I'll text it. You like mushrooms?
So on our celebrity sex tape rating show, do not purchase Little Fizz's sex tape from the guy on the train at 3 a.m.
Borderline garbage. Yeah, you don't want that.
We got an opinion about Nellys Penis. Just in case anyone was wondering, Nellys Penis is not little.
I don't even know what to say. I think I just turned a whole nother shade of red because I was like,
I mean, for me, that was interesting because first off, a lot of people were like on Twitter specifically that it leaked, and the first thing I saw was I really wasn't expecting to get on Twitter today and see Nellys' dick. Right? Like what?
I think that's because people who normally release that, they're extra, they're above average, like Safari and Nick Cannon. Yeah. Not that his was small, but his was more too average for him to release. I mean, I wouldn't have released it.
But you know, now he got molded. What Safari got his molded, like molded into a sex toy. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah,
right.
Wonderful. You can get it at the Romantic Kingdom on South Military Highway. They have that. I think it's $99, something like that.
They do
$99 or 99 cents.
$99. Oh no, $99. Yeah.
I feel like
only in black. You can only get it in black.
But
Soldier Boy, sweet. That's right.
Look how sweet Nelly is. Nelly went on did an interview and he apologized to the
parents,
girl
right?
And her family.
Yeah, and her family.
Yeah, no, because I mean, from how I understood it, I mean, I really don't think that was on purpose.
Right.
Like, just from the way he reacted, maybe it's because everyone was saying it was little, but it was interesting to see the way people kind of attacked it. And then there were counter arguments with people saying it's average. We shouldn't be penis shaving. Like y'all said, we can't fat shame, but it's okay to call people's dick little. I'm just sitting here like,
like you said, it's not little. It's just like, if he did it on purpose? Why would you release it? What are we supposed to be looking at here?
Maybe that's why Ashanti won't deal with him or go back to him. Or
probably.
Yeah, because ironically, she started trending when Nelly's video hit.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, it's just too many penises have been leaked. Like, just recently, I'm just kind of like, what's going on? Is there like a celebrity meetup? Like Soldier Boy did it. There's somebody else. Yeah. I think I'm going to leak my meat later. What's going on with these people?
That's a nice t-shirt.
So have anybody heard any comments? Did Isaiah Rashad make any comments or anything yet?
I actually
had to. Because I went to I thought it was like so much support. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was legit.
And look at the profiles from different demographics of people too.
So he wasn't out then. He wasn't out.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think he has 2 children and like.
You can still do that.
Huh?
You can still do that.
I mean, yeah, no, but I mean, I was just reading his Wikipedia stuff, and I was like, okay.
Bio.
Yeah, but so for example, it was like people were saying, okay, it's like, oh, he wasn't out. Like, but what do we do with this information now? And that was just so interesting because I think with the way cancel culture, even though I don't believe in it, it's interesting to see how that kind of support kind of was different than what I was expecting, which was an outpouring of homophobia.
Yeah.
But I think people are, nobody wants to be on that side of the fence anymore. Nobody wants to be that person anymore. Like I'm like the whole thing with the Dave Chappelle, I think did it, and I don't think anybody really wants to be on that side of the fence. So it's almost like people are learning to just if you're not in agreement, just keep your mouth closed and just let the people who want to see the video and talk about it or whatever. But I just don't think that people are wanting to be on that side of fat shaming, homophobic, body shame, any of those things. I just think people are just trying to they don't want to get canceled, because now it's like cancel culture, as you say, like it's the slightest little thing, the slightest little thing that you say, people are ready to cancel you, except for the shit that people ought to be canceled for. But
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fabian brings up a good point there. He was going through a lot of mental health struggles and drug abuse struggles, and right beforehand. So everyone was trying to support him beforehand anyway. His album did really great, but he's been quiet for a little bit. And then
since the video came out?
Before.
Yeah, right before. So it was like everyone was like, oh, okay, great. He's doing good again. Finally, he's kind of overcome those problems he was having. And then the tape gets leaked and everyone's like, oh no, who did this?
Okay, let's talk about leaked tapes. Let's talk about that for a second. Like, are you leaking a tape? Like, what is the purpose? What is the real purpose of to leak a tape? Like, what is the purpose of it? Why would you?
I mean, in this situation, I can see one reason somebody would leak the tape. I mean, let's say and we talked about this before. Let's say that you are the person that's with the person that's in the closet. The other person may have a motive to leak the tape, especially if they're in a real, undercover relationship.
But okay, general folk, okay, yeah, maybe them, but like general people like us, like, are you leaking the tape?
Publicity.
If you thought you were going to be the person and you're not the person, you're one of the people, then you can do it for revenge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that
that's another way.
We'll do it.
Right, revenge, money.
Yeah, money.
Publicity.
Okay,
I mean, they can be set up to do that.
Clout.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I don't think that people celebrities think first and foremost. I guess maybe you don't have time to do all that, but we're gonna have a Dropbox at the beginning. Okay, or if it's 5 of us, we having a cell phone lock Dropbox. We locking the cell phones up. I'm not getting ready to get caught up in no shit.
Oh yeah,
got a lot of prerequisites.
Yeah, I just think there's levels.
You gotta do the background check. Maybe you gotta do the background check. So you gotta really apply for a hookup 3 months in advance.
So I think
background check could come in.
No, seriously, you're sounding like I feel like R. Kelly needed a checklist. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like people who are so paranoid because what they're doing is wrong. I don't think anyone, you don't need that much of a checklist beyond, did you get checked for STDs? Mm-hmm. Do you wear a condom? But at the end of the day, I think if people are cheating on their wives and they're a celebrity, that's when I'm surprised. Dang, you over here making a sex tape with your side piece, and everyone knows your wife. What?
Yes. You can't be in the room. You can't be in the room with me, and it's all set up. You can't be in the room before me, because I'm gonna just automatically think that there's a camcorder or a camera or somewhere planning in there. I'm just gonna automatically think that. I'm just automatically gonna think that you trying to set me up for something. I don't understand the concept of people still getting caught up in stuff, because I not necessarily paranoid, but I'm just okay, I'm pulling back curtains, I'm looking up in vent,
you're pulling back.
No, I'm on that page with you.
In the moment it's hot, but you don't think about tomorrow when you're doing that.
Well, yeah, when you're filming it knowingly, I think Shanika's talk about being spied on for extortion.
Or the recording part.
The Russian mob got you on camera.
I'm just I just always think when I'm in my car, when I'm if I'm in my car sometimes, and I'm sitting in my car and I might be I might go out to my car for a second or before I go into work and I'm nap. I automatically just think that somebody has pulled up beside me, or if I'm at the store and Walter may go in the store, if I'm with Asia going to the store, I just automatically think somebody is filming me, and I'm gonna show up on somebody's YouTube page. When I went into my birthday,
call me tomorrow.
What are you up to, Shanika?
I'm going to clear my schedule. We're gonna
It
talk.
makes me wonder, what are some of the things that you've done to people?
I don't do stuff like that, but because this is just, we are in the culture of people are always pulling out their phones, so trying to go viral, and it's like, oh, look at her, she sleep with her mouth wide open, she don't even know, and you know, I don't know, I just always
Shanika,
think,
did you film someone sleeping? Hold up a second, that was a little too close to home.
no, but I'm always sleep, and I just feel
so
like
I'll give you credit though. Like when I go to a hotel, sometimes I just be thinking about how I remember seeing a case where this guy got caught and he had like been taking videos of people, and it just bothers me. Like I'm like, I know that, you know, I know I'm just some guy, but you know, I'm all like, man, if I found out that someone was just secretly filming me in my hotel room, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do really. I just feel invaded.
And you know what? I also feel uncomfortable when you're traveling and you go to rest stops, and when you, like, if it's a hole kind of like behind you on the wall where the little automatic flush toilet thing is, and if it's a hole, I think it's a camera back there. I think that somebody is video recording my behind.
I ain't never seen a hole in the wall in my bathroom, Shanika.
Shanika.
Yeah, I'll get that checked out.
I see, like,
You never really know a person until you do a show with them.
Yeah, I just be thinking about all kinds. I just be like, okay, like right now, somebody has a picture of my butt, like
specifically, right?
I will tell you when I see it. I'm gonna save it.
You know, because people like Will save the camera.
I'm gonna save it to my collection.
I need to come check your collection out, Will.
Okay, I can send it. That's a link. I can send it to you.
Please do. So look, we talking about relationships. I believe it was Shanika. You had sent out this topic about the TikTok video. So the man who was on vacation in Miami.
Oh man.
Yes.
Aiden, right? I think his name was Aiden or something.
Yeah, he was on vacation in Miami, and he pulled up on this girl at the beach. She was actually in the water, and it was recorded. So she felt such a vibe with this dude that she went on her TikTok and posted the video and some images and was asking the world, somebody help me find this dude. So eventually it got his wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have something suspicious about that. I really do, because I watched the interview when her and him, the wife, and he were talking about it. And like he said that he didn't know that they were videotaping. He said he posed for a picture, but he didn't know the whole flirting part was videotaped. And then all of a sudden she goes online to do this trending thing like, have you seen him? I think it was hashtag have you seen him? So all of a sudden she posts this video online looking for this guy, and then the wife's friend sees it and then sends it to the wife. I'm like, that don't even make sense to me. It's like unless she just said, I'm going to go and find the guy, and then I'm going to go through this whole process. Just some.
Well, she said that she has seen before where people when people have posted like, I'm searching for somebody, or can y'all help me find somebody, whatever. So she has seen like when other people had did it. So then she was like, she felt like if she posted this picture, that people would help her be able to find him.
But why were you videotaping in the beginning?
Well, they were on vacation. You know, maybe her friends or somebody was videotaping her playing the water.
Right.
No, I think they videotaped it.
He walked up, and they just kept filming. They didn't stop it.
Right.
I think. And then because that's what he said. He was like, well, I didn't even know that there was no video. I just thought it was a picture.
Yeah.
But I said nothing. I was like, she already bring that ass from one end to the other. You were supposed to sit there in agreement, like,
Yeah, as far as I know, the whole idea was that he walked up to her. So although I think it's a little weird, because I'm all like, what? Like, who's taking these photos? But clearly they're just meeting on the one I put up on the left. This looks like he's like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, you tried to hook, what's good? And she found him attractive. And, you know, ain't nothing wrong with her saying, hey, guys, help me find this man, because I have seen that. And people have reconnected after that. And for his wife, and when she said, hopefully he ain't married, that to me is the point where I'm like, ooh, like, come on, man. You walked right into that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe you should have asked him that while he was holding you.
Right.
Because he was holding her.
I think he was
definitely holding her.
Right. He was a little too, to me, he was just a little too friendly for somebody. And then, like, as they said, like, he's done that. What, okay, that one happened to be caught on video or on camera or whatever. But what did he do that wasn't caught on, the whole weekend? What did he do that wasn't caught on video and wasn't caught on film? And he was like, it was a mistake. It wasn't how it seemed. It wasn't even like that. I got the picture. And I was like, and she was like, well, we're starting therapy. And it took me a lot. And I had to ask him and her, did they sleep together? He was like, no. And I was like, you was fresh all weekend. You was fresh. You was being managed, as my mama, my grandma. You was being managed all weekend.
So that's never happened to you guys? Like, you never went, because that has happened to me a couple times. Not that I reached out to people, but being out of state or on vacation, you at a bar, and you just connect with somebody and you vibe. You come home thinking about that person like, wow, I wonder where they are. Will we ever reconnect again? I mean, that has happened to me.
But I feel like this. Well, okay, and I probably been gonna get in hella trouble when I get off of here for saying that. And whenever I go on vacation next, somebody probably gonna be like, well, what the hell are you doing? But I just feel like what happens on vacation, stay on vacation, because I feel like, people are one way when they're on vacation and they still got a whole damn family when they go back home. Like we here to have a good time or whatever. We're gonna keep that here, and then we go back to our real lives, And so I just think that he thought that, and I don't think that he thought that he was gonna number one be caught on film, and number two that she was gonna put out a damn party search for his ass. Like,
right.
Yeah, right. And who knows? Maybe he was flirting with her. I'm not saying it's okay, but maybe he was just flirting with her, and he really wasn't gonna do anything with her further. And then she took it back for like maybe. Right. Maybe he flirted with her and her breath stank, and then he was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave her alone. But then she goes on the internet to find him. Even if he wasn't married, he's like, oh man, I don't want to deal with her. Like that was a vacation boo.
Right. But my other thing was, okay, for you to even say, is he married? I'm thinking, okay, so he didn't have a wedding ring on.
No, she was like, I hope he's not married.
Yeah, he didn't have a wedding ring on. They pointed to his fingers immediately on the internet that he didn't have.
I don't know. Well,
but it's the fact that she was even worried about it. But to me, it's because men are out here doing that. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of men are out here, and they got a girl that's all like, and then I found out he was married. I've been hearing those stories for my entire life. And now it's even easier to find out somebody was married, because I can't imagine growing up in the 50s and it's like, oh yeah, my third family on the other side of town. Right. They don't know each other.
But truth be told, people are still having whole families. Like I got a whole family here in this state and a whole another family in another state, and nobody
knows. Lord knows you're right. You're right about that.
So people still doing it for as long as they can get away with it. They on these jobs that you travel or whatever, and people still do it. Still do it. But I just thought that whole entire situation was like, wow. Like she was like, we're going to counseling and we're gonna start therapy. And he was like, I'm sorry, it wasn't really like that, and all this and other. I don't know. Like, what would you do if that was you? Like if somebody was looking for your significant other and it got like, how would you feel? How would you feel about it?
In this particular situation, especially they're in different states, I would just say he had a good time on vacation. I probably would, ready to sleep with her, and I would probably move on from that. I mean, married people flirt. They don't always go to the bedroom.
Yeah, I would say I definitely would be angry. I mean, Fabian went on a couple of girls' trips, and I was like, whew. Just because I saw on the Snapchat, this guy walked up and said, ladies. And I'll never forget, I just put the phone down. I'm like, I know she's not going to cheat on me, but oh man, that hurt. You know what I mean? Like just how social media can kind of make you get into your feelings just over stuff that if you were there, you wouldn't even be worried about. So, I mean, like I said, it's really to me the fact that he went up to talk to her first, because say it was the same situation that they were filming, but she went up to him and he was just nice. Well, oh, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Maybe his wife would be like, I don't want you flirting with random girls who talk to you on the beach. But it wouldn't be the same as, he went up to go and introduce himself.
Well,
to
you're
her.
right. Now you're right. You would bring up a point, wouldn't you? He did approach her. Yeah, that was one.
To me, that's the key. But when she said, "This man approached me on the beach," and he looked like he was flirting, like, it's like, But if he didn't approach her and she was talking to him and filming him, he has every right to be like, "Yo, I was just being nice." So, she walked up on me.
Right. What about you, Will?
I don't have anything to say.
Somebody would be dead.
I don't have anything to say. I have to say this is a very familiar topic, and I ain't got nothing to say. We can go ahead and go.
Okay.
All right, next topic.
I really answered. Like, how would I feel? Like, I don't know. Wow, if you're up here, how would you feel if? Well, I'm like, I don't think I would be walking up to anybody. Like, I'll look. I ain't gonna lie, because I feel like God gave me eyes to look. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, but I think Lemire made the winning point there. The whole thing is that he's the married one and he approached. And I think that's why they're in counseling, because the approach part.
You have to look at the intentions too. What was his intentions? I
Right.
mean, even the guy who interviewed him said, you're an attractive guy, and he was. I mean, sometimes he's just out there flexing. He had his shirt off. He wasn't even in the deep part of the water, and maybe he's used to girls,
But when he got with his wife, when he was sitting next to her, when they interviewed him, I didn't think, like, the picture
He
gave
didn't look like the guy that was in the water to
No,
me.
he didn't. He did not.
Yeah, he was on the couch.
No,
Yeah.
when he was sitting next
But
to her, I
he
was
leaned
like,
into him. You could tell. You could see the body. She was leaning this way. And,
Right.
Oh yeah.
She was like, you didn't have any choice but to go to counseling.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
I'm assuming he wanted to make it work. I don't know why, and what I mean is that, clearly he's like, oh, no, I got to hold on to her. That was supposed to be a fun fling. But I hope I hope it works out for them. Oh, yeah. See, my wife just confirmed it for y'all.
What she said?
Amir don't need to be flirting with no one on vacation, and I keep that same energy when I go on vacation. If I see people like that online, y'all would personally have to come save Amir.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, that's right. You see what I mean, right? I'm saying if somebody caught me on camera flirting with another girl, like that's it. It's a problem. But if I was chilling on the beach and a girl came up to me, I understand maybe I'm attractive, ha ha ha, ooh, but that's gonna be it. Like, I'm married, you need to go.
I think that I'm a little naive because I think so many women talk to Walter. Like, I just be like I have to tune in because sometimes I tune it out. Like, I tune it out because he works with so many different women and he's come in contact with. So in his, 30-something year Navy career, and then sometimes I have to be like, well, I think that she, I think she was flirting a little bit, and he's just kind of like, no, she was just talking about blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I don't know. I just think that I just feel like everybody is talking to him about work, and but he's such a nice guy that I think sometimes people take that his kindness sometimes for like, is he flirting? Is he being flirtatious? But he really isn't. It's just him being kind. So I don't know. I think that I don't always go. I guess that being my first instinct that he,
I mean, well, yeah. So, I mean, I think it's also important. I'm not saying that Walter wears his ring all the time, but there he is. But I'm saying when she asked the real question, why wasn't he wearing his ring? That's just another, put like a knife in the back there. It's like, it's not just flirting. He wasn't wearing his ring. I will say though, when I'm on the beach, I feel uncomfortable with my ring in the water. It could be lost.
Okay.
Yeah, because when she asked why wasn't he wearing his ring, that lets us know that he does wear one. Because everybody don't all the time.
Right.
So that means you took it off. You're approaching girls in the water. You're rather close in this photo. So with all that being said, I think we do need to go to counseling.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I agree.
Did anyone have a mental health topic? being that was the topic of the show, does anyone have a mental health topic?
Oh, we got.
I have one if you guys don't have it.
Oh yeah, go for it. Well, just do
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Okay, so it's kind of deep. Let me see if I can pull up the graphic for it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we know we talked about a couple times about the stigma surrounding mental health, and we talked about Kanye's things with Kim and her boyfriend and how he's been acting. But I saw this meme, and it had 3 instances, which I had to be, I'm guilty that I laughed at when I saw them, because I was just like, when I saw Will on the show with the Red Table Talk, and it looked like he was crying, I was just like, why is this nigga up here crying? To me, it was signifying weakness. And then Kanye, I was just like, oh, he's crazy. He's seeking attention. And then I didn't even see the Tyrese one.
Oh man, that was.
But it says when Tyrese had a mental breakdown online in regards to not seeing his daughter in 2 years, people laughed at him and he became a meme. When Kanye West had a mental breakdown on TV, people called him crazy and he too became a meme. The world watched Will Smith listen to his wife tell him live that she had an affair, and people laughed at Will. He too became a meme. Yet folks wonder why men don't open up about their mental health. So I was looking at reasons. I wanted to know if men or women get more support surrounding mental health. And I was right that women get more support, because in our culture, there's a stigma surrounding men expressing their mental health. It was saying that such factors such as social norms, self-perception, and cultural beliefs often stand in the way, or they're rooted in the stigma surrounding men's mental health. Social stigma can become internalized by men. For example, conventional ideas surrounding masculinity. And culturally, mental health is often considered a taboo subject in the Black community, which we've all known. And stigma is anything that stereotypes, places a prejudgment, or puts labels on a person, situation, or idea. And stigmas usually affect your mental health. So to change directions with this, have you ever experienced stigma before? And have you ever applied stigma to a person, situation, or idea? I'll start by saying, yes, I experienced stigma on the show. Like when me and Shanika decided to do the show, and we decided that it was going to be unscripted, unfiltered, uncut, I knew that I was going to have to reveal parts of myself, primarily my sexuality and my relationship and my marriage, to however many people choose to see the show. And to me, that was frightful, because I had always been more of a private person. So I know in my community, everybody does not accept homosexuality, and there was a stigma placed on that. So I would approach the show, that first show, especially when I started talking about my marriage, there was so much anxiety that I experienced. And then, like I said, when I was looking at Will and all them on those shows, I applied stigma to them. Like, you're weak. You're supposed to be a man. You're not supposed to show your feelings. You're not supposed to do it, especially on live TV. So yeah, I've experienced both of those. What about y'all?
This is a very interesting topic for me, because I always had a fear of having a boy. Okay, I was grateful that God gave me a girl, because I was very afraid to have a son, because I was like, Lord, am I going to make him excuse me, like, am I going to make him soft? Like, this is my questions I'm asking myself. Like, I don't want him to be too soft, but I don't want him to be non-caring. I don't want to make him think that he shouldn't cry, because he has feelings and he has emotions. I don't want him to grow up to be disconnected with any person that he gets into a relationship with, because I raised him to be disconnected from his feelings. And so that was very scary for me. Like, although I wanted a son, I was very scared to raise a son, because I didn't really know how it was going to play out, and I seen some of my friends with their boys, and sometimes I seen them like, man up, and they punch them and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I don't want to raise my boy like that, because I feel like if you fall down, you deserve to cry. If you hurt yourself, you should be able to cry, and nobody should look at you like you're weak or you're a punk or you're, if you are in tune with your emotions, nobody should judge you for that. Because I do think that ultimately that's how boys become men who end up having a whole bunch of mental issues because they were never taught how to express themselves through crying or through sharing or through, whatever it is, therapy, counseling, or whatever it is that they needed to do and be able to, speak of their emotions without being judged. So I think that for me, and even when I look at my husband sometimes, that's just, his father was very stern about things. And it was, I think, after a while, it took him some time to kind of show his emotions. And I'm like, it's okay. You can show it. But I think that in the Black community, that's the thing that we're talking, like, what are you crying for? You ain't a girl. Stop crying like a girl. Why you acting like a girl? Girls cry, boys don't cry. It's like, that's foolish. That's foolish talk, whatever. So, I just think that it's been a thing that has been clouding the Black community for so long, that it's time for us to come out of that, because it ends up having long-term effects on Black men.
Yeah.
Yeah, for stigma, for sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Chanel.
Well, for me, and this is a great question, Will, and I feel like you're peeling back a layer. Ooh. But yeah, for me, the stigma would be one that I have experienced and one that I have imposed. Not happy about it, is the stigma on weight.
Okay.
So, of course, so I've lost 180 pounds.
Wow.
I am almost 6 feet tall, so I never really looked my weight. But my highest weight was about 415-ish. Yeah, that's the high weight. But so yes, as somebody that size, I did experience a lot of stigma.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna fit? I'm a nurse. I've always been active, always been, a moving kind of person. I've never been that lazy, that stereotypical, how they say, people of size, you're lazy, you're this and you're that. I've never been that. But I remember once I was in the hospital, Norfolk General, actually working on the floor, and a patient's wife, I had moved the bed because she pushed it all the way against the wall. Now, everybody knows beds in the hospital don't go against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted her bed space. So I moved it back into the center so the care team can be on both sides of the bed. And I heard her telling her husband, she just moved it because she can't fit. So things like that I experienced throughout my life. But to answer the latter part of the question I have imposed is that although I'm very nurturing to people of size, because I've been there and I know how they're treated, I'm also tough on them. I'm tough on them, not necessarily to lose weight, but don't be that typical big girl or big boy. Don't be that one that don't take pride in their appearance. Don't be that one that won't get up and walk, and don't be lazy. So yes, I have imposed that on some people, because if I at 415 can run around and run down the hallway and pound on people's chests and do CPR and run the code blues, you don't have to be lazy. We don't have to be that. So I have experienced that, but I also impose those because I feel like everyone isn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing. Yes. So the answer is yes, and the answer is yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you,
Chanel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on the same page. Honestly, for me, it's religion. Growing up as a Muslim who had a name that is Arabic and lighter skin, a lot of people said I was a foreigner. Like, I wasn't from here. I was treated like, as if like I was a token. So I mean, sure, I was Black, but so that was like one thing. I would be asked weird things about grammar and whatnot. But the other thing was like why is your name like that? And I mean, it's weird because I mean, I'm younger. I understand, like, there was a point in time when nobody had any Muslim names in the United States, but now it's kind of it's accepted. I mean, sure, we had 9/11, but in the 90s, right before 9/11, in elementary school, people were looking at me like I was like some kind of monster. Like, what? Like, you're not Christian, but you're black. Like, are you sure your parents aren't from like the Middle East? You know, like it was weird stuff like that. So I experienced that stigma, and unfortunately, I kind of like I internalized that. Like, you know, it's me against these other people who don't want me to be who I am, and I really took that. Like, I would go out of my way to make sure, like, if someone was talking to me about the Bible, it's like I don't believe that. You know, I'm a Muslim. I do this or that, and I really took that out on a lot of people in ways that I'm like, you know what? I could have just kept it moving, saved myself a lot of like pain and just mental distress, for sure.
Thank you. All right.
Wow,
Did anybody in the audience have anything they wanted to share about that? No.
That's wonderful.
All right. Anybody else have another topic? I know we're a little bit over.
Oh, that was good.
We're having a good conversation.
Yeah. When I was thinking about it, reading the article, the article was really power packed. So, and then they started talking about the stigma, and we all often look at stigma. Well, when I was thinking about stigma, I always think about mental health, but I always think about when they define what stigma really meant. I was like, oh, there are so many different avenues in my life where I experienced stigma. Not just with that, especially the newest thing is in situations where we're married. You know, same-sex marriage is pretty new, 2017. So when we go to places, and my husband, who's a millennial, raises his hand, that I never, when they ask all the married couples, and we're sitting next to each other, I still don't raise my hand, but he does his. So just the stares and everything that we get, that's still stigma, and it affects my mental health. That anxiety, heart racing again, those type of feelings. I'm more conscious of different areas of my life where I'm experiencing this stigma, so I can know how to deal with them, and either learn how to operate in those situations or avoid those situations if I need.
You know what is funny? This is kind of sidebar, but it is, but it kind of isn't. Okay, so when I cut my hair, like I know I made this really fast. So when I cut my hair, right, one of my friends, it was like, so are you transitioning? And I was like, transitioning into what?
Are you serious?
And I was like, what am I transitioning into? And then she was like, well, I mean, I was just asking because I said, and so I got off the phone with her and I thought about it, and then I had to call her back. I was like, you offended me. I said, because that should not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that should not be the first thing that you think about because I have a short haircut, because you don't know, like, and if that is what people think about, like, to me, that's foolish, because I could be having alopecia, I could be having some type of scalp situation going on, I could be having, I could have anything that's going on that's causing me to cut my hair down short. And for you or everybody to automatically assume that because my hair is short, that I'm transitioning, if you will.
And you know this person, you know her.
Perfect live example, because you thought about that after she said it enough for you to call her back. So it went through your mind. Yes. There was some anxiety, some feelings there that made you, it resonated with you to the fact that it kind of bothered you. You call her back to ask her. Yes. Chanel is laughing at the fact that you had mental ill, some type of mental illness.
I'm talking about the whole situation. I told her,
but do you know why she asked me that? Do you know why she asked me that? Because she just recently cut her hair and somebody did it to her.
See?
There's a stigma surrounding women who cut their hair.
Right.
But I mean, there's a stigma around big, tall women.
Because I was like,
honestly,
hair length, this shit, I don't give a damn. Like,
hair length has bothered me my entire life.
There's a stigma against big, tall women.
But I was like, listen, and I had to tell her, I said, okay, it's gonna get raw after this. But I was like, listen, I like dick every day and twice on Sundays, bitch. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Will has your video, Shanika. You should just have him send it to her.
Boom. Different angles too. Yep.
Different angles. Because I'm just saying, man, to me, the obsession with hair length in this society, when it comes to being a man or a woman, is crazy to me. And I mean, for me, it's that idea like, oh yeah, that black woman with short hair, now she looks like a boy. And I'm all like, you don't see the ass and titties?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's not like that, even if they're skinny or anything, I'm just kind of like, we make all these assumptions just on what we see first. And it's like, you have no idea what this person has going on to even say, are you transitioning? It's like, is that the first? How about, how's your day? Oh, you got a new haircut. And then maybe you could say, actually, I'm transitioning. Right?
Like, what the heck? I was like, okay, wait. And then I was like, bitch, no, you working this. I don't give a damn about what anybody's talking about. Like, nah.
That's crazy.
Thanks for the advice, Amir. The next time somebody confuses me, I'm gonna say, yes, I'm transitioning.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. That's wild, yeah, I don't know.
I hope she's watching though, because she probably gonna call me.
All right, so good show, everybody. Good show. Good show. So next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to keep it hot. And yeah. So make sure you tune in. Shanika, do we have any sponsors or anything? I know we talked about that.
No. We still need to talk about that a little bit and kind of like look at what like all of us kind of like come together and what we're like, you know, to see if I can reach out to some people. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure that you tune in next Monday, same time, same place, where we're going to bring you something, you know, just as juicy, just as spicy, and just as raw as we did tonight. So join us where the conversation is always unscripted, unfiltered, and uncut. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.